Hey everybody, on this WTF Wednesday on ByteSized Talks, we'll be talking about Toxoplasma. I don't know what it is, but apparently Joop does. And did you hear about that high school in New Hampshire? The boys are wild out there. They made trading cards. Trading cards based on the girls in their school, and they had rarity and different values. And I don't know if it's like Pokemon where they can evolve into something else, but I don't know. Joop will tell us all about it. Check out the episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to ByteSized Talks. This is a WTF Wednesday episode. As always, I'm your host here. My name is Gary, aka Hempy. All the way on the other side of the screen, over there, we got Julian. Say what's up, man.
Hey everybody, this is Julian or Joop. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's get ready for this What the Fuck Wednesday. It's some wild topics today.
How'd you feel about me trying to enter your airspace there?
You're gonna do the fusion. Huh? Yeah. No, it's the other way.
Dumbass. All right. Let's talk about Toxoplasma first. I don't even know. I mean, toxo, something toxic. Plasma, it's a weird form of physical matter. Typically,
so it's actually a parasite that causes this illness, right? Mm-hmm. And so in humans, it causes sort of recklessness. So they were talking about how when you see an elevated amount of road rage and suicides and possibly violence in a certain area, there's a high probability that they have toxoplasma. And this is basically a parasite that gets in your gut, and it actually it might change your brain in the sense that it causes more road rage. And I forget where exactly they found out that data, but not only that, the wild part about this is that when mice get it, they lose their fear of cats, and they actually are attracted to the odor of cats. And so the theory behind this is that since this parasite can only reproduce in the cat's gut, the mice are attracted to the cats so they can eat them, and then the parasite can reproduce in the cat's stomach.
Okay, a couple questions here.
Yeah.
So this is something that's originally in mice, or
no? So this reproduces in a cat's gut, and so this is why a lot of doctors recommend pregnant women not to handle any cat litter, stuff like that, because it could actually affect the fetus as well and actually cause pretty bad defects on them.
Yeah, dude, cats. I don't, dude. Part of me wants one.
Yeah,
especially like there's this cat that's super sweet. Like every now and then I'll give it a can of tuna.
Yeah,
or whatever it doesn't eat, I'll give it to the dogs. But I heard something that like if you die in your house, 100% that cat's eating your face.
Yeah,
like,
and a dog will starve to death. He will not eat you.
Some dogs,
yeah. I mean,
some dogs.
How well
so
you treated the
they
dog.
said the smaller the dog, the more likely they are to eat you.
Oh shit.
So like the little yappy chihuahuas and stuff, like those are more likely to start gnawing on your fingers and your toes, and like the one dog they said like is the like it'll like die before it eats its human.
Yeah.
They said it are black Labradors.
Oh shit.
I don't know if it's especially the black Labradors, but I know they said Labradors at least. I think I want to say that they said black lab because Oakley's half black lab, so I was like, all right.
Oakley's gonna have meals for weeks.
I hope somebody misses me faster than that. Um, okay, so toxoplasmosis. So obviously, it's able to jump species, right? So it's able to go from cat to
It's a
human.
parasite. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Um,
the I guess the more concerning thing is that even after the mice were treated and the parasite was nowhere to be found in the bloodstream or in the mice or anything, that loss of fear for the cats was still there. So there's a permanent
okay.
change in the brain, whether it's from inflammation or it's something else. The mice still are not scared of that cat.
Okay. So there's some structural rewiring in a sense
Yeah,
that happens within like the prefrontal cortex or something.
yeah,
All right. And they're saying that this in humans is more likely to be like someone who's just more knee jerk, more of a knee jerk reaction, more prone to anger.
exactly. And so this got me thinking of that. God, what was that show that just came out with the mushroom that causes them to become
Mario?
no that causes them to become a zombie. Fuck, what was that show called?
It's a show?
It's a show. It was a really good show actually, based on a video game.
Was it was it animated? Oh, I think I know it. The one on HBO,
Yeah, on HBO. I forget what it was
Last
called.
of Us.
Maybe, yeah. I think it was The Last of Us. So it got me thinking, what if this parasite can cause like a zombie outbreak? Because it does make people more suicidal. It does make
Mhm.
them more irritable. So they'll start road rage will amplify in that area if there is that parasite in there. It's easily treatable, um, but a lot of times people don't realize they have it until they go and get tested for
Shit, my dad might have had that for like 50 years. Like, and he claims that there is something in his stomach. He had a brick in his stomach. He's like, I can't get rid of this
it.
is one of my favorite stories about my dad. This is back when I was working for him, and we're getting ready to go on a road trip. Right, so I pull up to his house about 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, because we have a long drive. We have to hit a couple stops, do a couple of the tests that we were doing, and then make our way all the way up to Northern California. It's like a 6 8 hour drive that we had in front of us outside of like these two other stops. It was gonna be like a 12 14 hour day. And so I pick up my dad. Um, we get everything loaded up in our van, and uh, he comes in freaking wired with energy. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, all right, let's go. Right? And I'm there. It's 5 o'clock. I'm like, why the fuck is he so excited? You know? So we're driving, and he's like, oh man, I feel loose today. Oh yeah. Ooh. Like, okay, what's going on? He's like, man, mijo, I took the nastiest shit ever. Like, it was like black, 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 black. Like, it was like bottom of the earth black. Like, it was. I think that brick that I've had. Remember that brick, mijo, that I told you that I have? I think it finally dislodged. Like, whatever that was. That it was evil, man. Oh, it was bad. It was just. Yeah, I've never seen a shit that. It had that thing had to be stuck there for years. Like, oh, I don't know, but like I feel lighter. I feel looser. I feel good. Oh yeah, and I'm just like, all right, Pop, whatever. We're driving, and about 20, 30 minutes into the drive, he goes, oh man. And I'm driving like, if you forgot a cell phone charger or something, we're not turning around, like, because we're gonna get all this traffic on the way back. Like, we're going. He's like, no, I didn't forget my cell phone charger. It's just that I still got my brick. I was like, what? What do you mean you still got your brick? He goes, I just remembered right before I went to bed, I ate a whole roll of Oreos.
Oh
Like, that's
shit. That's
that's what
disgusting.
that's why my shit was so black. He goes, I still got my, so I just pressing on his stomach. I still got my brick. Like, oh man, thought I finally got rid of that thing. So I might have been his
Oh,
parasite. Who
shit.
knows? He's a lot nicer now.
He's a lot nicer. That's hilarious.
4 out of 5 of his neighbors would agree.
Oh
Sorry,
shit.
Pop. Love you.
Oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
that's what. Dude,
that
parasites are crazy.
they are.
Like, and they're in everything. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about our systems, we run off of because there's different there's different type of interactions between animals. There's parasites where like one lives off the other. There's things that are symbiotic to where there's two things that are living in conjunction to each other where they help. You know, there's other ones where like one lives off the other, but it doesn't harm it,
Yeah.
right? And if you look at our system, and that's like the danger of taking too many antibiotics, but you can start killing off all your healthy bacteria, the
Yeah.
bacteria that's needed. Um, and so we're always having different bugs and bacteria and all this other stuff living on us with us, and like this is actually a theory I've heard that's like why so many people have food allergies now is that the part of our immune system that used to attack parasites um, all the time um, is relatively bored in a sense because before like in the wintertime you'd bring in all the animals inside the house so they wouldn't freeze so you'd still have meat moving or like
Yeah.
um and now that we're not in close contact with all these animals and breathing all these different particles and you know our system getting taxed and abused and that the parasite defense system always engaging, it's like it's a bunch of troops that are just bored, and so whenever like a piece of pineapple or shrimp or some gluten gets in your system, it's like orale, let's get them, and they start jumping them. And they're saying like that they could be the fact that we have um part of our system that by having just such cleaner living has
Yeah.
nothing to do why we might have food allergies, and I think that's an interesting hypothesis. um
Yeah. I
or
just thought that the symptoms of this being road rage and suicide, who would well nowadays depression has gone up by what 30 some percent. And so
yeah
now it's now do I have the parasite? Do I get myself checked? It's kind of hard to tell, and it's so common as well that it's hard to pinpoint what's causing that if you don't go to a doctor.
yeah and dude, I bet you we all have parasites.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, for
I bet
sure.
you we all have some creepy crawly, right, like in our pansada to some
Yeah,
extent. Like I saw a video where like let's say like we're so used to not having bugs and stuff in our food that like when people actually like what like why is there like a worm in fish, it's like because fish get worms,
yeah,
they get parasites, they get like that's a natural order, that's a natural habit, that's a natural part of nature. uh that's why like certain animals they're so infested with um different parasites that they're not recommended for eating
yeah.
because it's so much so likely that you're gonna pick it up. I mean, that's why like sushi, man. Like,
Dude, I love
I like
sushi.
sushi, but like, uh, it's a good way to pick up like a parasite from like different
Yeah,
salmons and stuff
yeah, for
because like
sure.
if it's there, like there's no heat, there's nothing to kill it, you
Yeah.
know. So you're living on that edge. Dude, we had a professor in our department. He was a professor emeritus, like that's, or I think that's the title
Okay.
when they retire, but they're still kind of active with the
Okay.
department. It's kind of like an honorary position. Um, he ended up passing away due to complications from eating some like lobster soup from like Sam's Club or something.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, you got like lobster soup. I don't know if he like did it heat it up to the proper temperature thoroughly
Yeah.
enough. For whatever reason, I forget. I'm blanking out on the name of it, but it was had some sort of bacteria in it. It caused him to become completely paralyzed. Um, and it was gonna be a process of like of his nerves having like to like regenerate or like come back
Oh shit.
online essentially
Yeah.
little by little, and like during that process he had complications and died.
Fuck.
Um, but they said it was large in part probably due to some bad soup that he ate.
Well, that sucks. You know, you never know what could be in those in that food, and sometimes they're hit or
Bro,
miss. It's
every
something.
every time I go to Costco, I don't look twice at that fucking soup aisle anymore. Like I'm like, dude, like I'm not gonna. I'll fuck up a T-shirt because of soup, but I ain't going down because of soup. Like fuck that. Um, yeah, dude, it's uh, all that stuff. It's important to care about, like like if you're living too clean, are you pushing your immune system? Are you testing it well enough? Like
Yeah.
I know people who like the people who are always out and about, like they're the ones. I know a lot of people like that who have like really strong immune systems because it's getting attacked on the daily.
Yeah, and that's
You
why
know,
they say it's also good to have a dog around. Even though they're out there stepping on shit and whatnot, it's good to bring that bacteria in. That way, it keeps your immune system working.
oh god, I mean, it's always like cute when a dog comes up and like licks you, like whatever, and then you're like, oh, that thing licks its ass. I
Yeah.
love that dog, you know. But that
Cabrón.
thing's out there just
It's weird to think about it because my dog, at least when she was younger, she would literally eat her shit. I was like, Nala, why the fuck are you eating that?
I never caught Oakley, but I suspect she was doing that, and so did the vet because I had to deworm her like 5 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the dog like, is she eating it? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Whenever I'm out there, I don't see her. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, we gotta just keep deworming the poor thing, man. Like,
Poor dog.
uh, uh, but all right. So, is there anything people when you read this is like there besides like, oh hey, if you have road rage and or suicide, is there anything else like they recommended
No,
you do?
there's also there's nausea, there's a bunch of other symptoms that you get with it as well. So it's not just that. But just because you're out there flipping off somebody in the street or just screaming at people, don't think that it's because of that parasite. Like it causes more symptoms than that. Again, look it up. I didn't read too much into it. I just thought it was interesting the side effects. Yeah.
Did you hear about all the people getting sick from the mud run out in California?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, and I was wondering part of that because I think part of it, like, you go, obviously, covered. I went on a hike and there was a little bit of mud and I almost died. Broke my leg. But
Oh
those mud
fuck.
runs where they're jumping into these things, they're jumping over obstacles, they're climbing over stuff, they're doing all sorts of
Yeah.
crazy crap. I wondered, like, if maybe someone was like sharded a little bit, like when they fell into the mud, then everybody was in the mud. And I think it's one of those events that like normally if you go and you fall, you get dirty, you do yard work, like you go
Yeah.
home, once you go inside, maybe you rest for an hour, but then you're like, I better take a shower.
Yeah.
I imagine those mud runs. It's like a little community afterward. It's like, oh, let's all hang out. You just wipe off your face, and you're like, oh, that was amazing, right? Like, and you kind of embrace the grit,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
being. And then I wonder if that helped it like latch on to an extent that they like allowed
Marinate.
it to marinate. Yeah. Um, which, dude, speaking of marinate, do you know pineapple can break down meat?
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Did I tell you about the story when pineapple almost broke me down way?
No, what the fuck did you do?
I had only had pineapple out of the can or pre-cut for me.
Yeah.
I had never myself cut up a pineapple.
Oh
So like I
fuck,
saw
you
one at
ate
the
the
store,
center of it, did you?
not the center. Kevin, that I don't think that's the problem. It's the part close to the rind,
Oh, okay.
the outside.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking cheap. I'm there. I'm eating that thing like a freaking watermelon peel. I mean, right? I know you're gonna clip that. I fucking know you're gonna clip that.
I do all the editing,
Uh,
so I clip the stuff. So yeah, that's going in there.
but yeah, dude, I was there and like, and what's and I live on my own. So after I cut it, I was like, like part of me was like, I don't want to just like try to store this. Like, I don't know what I'll get back to. Like, I might as well try to go through it all today. So
Yeah.
I ate a bunch of pineapple. Not I didn't finish off the whole thing then, but dude, after a while, I was like, my lips feel kind of fuzzy,
That's so stupid.
and I get a napkin like this, and I do just kind of a little blot,
Yeah.
and I see little specks of red. I'm like, fucking
Oh
pineapple's not
shit.
red. What the fuck? I go like that, and it's like pink. I'm like, son of a bitch. I look, my lips were bleeding.
Oh shit.
It has an enzyme, I think it's called brolamine, where it
Yeah.
starts breaking down meat. So as I was eating Uno reversed it. I was like, hold on, big mofo. Like, I'm coming for you. I want you. So yeah, and I was like, fuck, I don't mess with pineapples anymore.
A little bit is good
Do
at
you
a
know what?
time. It's which is why I mean I learned it as a kid is you eat a little bit at a time, otherwise your mouth's gonna start to hurt because of that.
Yeah. Do you know about upside down pineapples?
The fuck? No, what is that?
Uh, if you buy a pineapple and you're walking around the grocery store and you put it upside down, or maybe you buy a nice little pineapple figurine and you decorate it in your house and you leave it upside down,
Yeah.
it's your signal to the world that you are, in fact, a swinger.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing, buddy. Uh,
What the
I guess
fuck?
that's the thing. In trailer parks, having flamingos, like the little ones you put in your
Oh
yard,
yeah, yeah.
that's a thing. I think in Florida, and like old folks' home, you know, the little bath scrubby thingies,
Yeah.
the little colored ones
Yeah.
that are on a string. There, like, there's like a color code. There's like 8 of them, and it's like green means like, uh, we only will allow somebody to join us. Like
What the
red will
fuck?
mean like we both like men and women. You know,
Dude.
a black one means like no holds bar, get to it. Like, and these are like an old folks home, like, and they're just freaking.
Eating that pineapple.
I don't know. Their lips are chapped for a whole nother reason. Fuck. But yeah, that's the thing. So if you wanna, see if you could get a free drink potentially, like, be on the other end of of that model. Put a pineapple upside down. See what happens. See if you get any. See if maybe you get a different interaction. You know.
That's so weird.
See if someone.
Those types of things are so complicated that for me it's like just be upfront, go do your shit. Like, why do you got to have all these codes and shit?
But think about it. Let's say you're into that, right? That's your
Yeah.
thing. Your girl's into that. How offensive, or let's say you're not into it. You aren't. You haven't said anything. I imagine you're not into that type of stuff. But how offended would you be if somebody came up to you and was like, "Hey, dude, you want to switch girls tonight?" You
Yeah,
know,
I guess that is offensive. And
like, no, fool, you brought a torta here with you, like.
Stop with my
You
Corvette
know
for
what I mean?
that
Like,
fucking Honda? Hell no.
you're the reliable, cabron, don't you?
Reliable. Uh,
See me at 200,000 miles, cabron.
oh shit.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, I guess I get the point. Um,
yeah,
but there's fucking a Facebook group at this point for that type of shit.
yeah, but maybe like, but it's also like a way not to put like a digital record, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's just a way to just kind of, and maybe that person you're not gonna run into him, and you just want to be a little bit more covert about it. Like,
yeah.
dude, I've heard, like, be careful about what rest stops you stop at.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like, because that used to be a thing for like gay dudes. Like
Okay.
they would like post, or like it was just like known, like, oh hey, we just stop at a rest stop, and like you hear like
Ah
or like
shit.
a secret knock or something, like,
Yeah.
yeah, there might be a little cutout, or uh, like there's all these little things, or
Yeah.
ways of signaling,
Yeah,
um,
that's wild.
you know yeah, and it's just kind of that calling card.
Yeah.
I think on Schultz one day they were talking about like maybe like it was like a bandana, and or like there's just ways that like guys would like within the gay community would like signal each other like open for anything or like and apparently they've talked about it on Flagrant that there's an app where you can like geotag yourself and like advertise what you want to do.
What the fuck? That sounds
And
fucking
dude,
dangerous.
yeah, and people just like show up.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's wild.
um, um, but yeah, dude. So yeah, pineapples. If you buy them, you gotta make sure that you're orientated and right. So. But yeah, I know it's pineapples. Have you seen anybody driving around with one of those little things hanging on their car?
The what?
Um, little like scrubby things for the bathroom, little
Oh,
loofah,
okay.
little the colorful ones. And
Yeah.
there's a whole like if you want to pull it up, there's a whole color code to it.
Whole fucking spectrum.
Um, and like I think in trailer parks, the signals like the little flamingos.
That's
Like
funny.
that's the thing saying like we're open for business. We're willing to play. You know. Uh,
Oh god.
speaking of playing, let's talk about these trading cards that these wild ass kids. So did they physically print them, or are they like digital NFTs,
No, dude. So
or
this is fucking wild. It's such a guy thing, but yet it's yeah, it's stupid, and it's obviously a sexual harassment. But basically, the kids started taking pictures of women's breast or butt, whatever, and started putting together these like trading cards, and they would like rank them to see what score they would give them, and would be an agreement. Okay, this is a 9 or this is a 3 or whatever. Um, and then they started trading them between themselves, saying like, "Oh, here I'll trade you 2 of these for 1 of these." And then it started doing that like a Pokemon trading thing. Um,
okay?
and their economy teachers said, "Oh, they were just trying to apply what they've learned in economics." And I was like, "Oh fuck, you don't justify that."
They're gonna look through his phone, and that fool's fixing to retire, trying to.
Yeah, dude. So
That fool probably had a diverse portfolio, like.
but yeah, dude, it was
uh,
pretty wild that they were just creating trading cards, yeah, about girls and trying to. I guess the bigger problem was that they were taking pictures of their breast and their butt and all that. So that's what kind of was like, oh, okay, that's just pushing it too far.
yeah,
Um, I think if it would have been something like just a cutout of the yearbook or something, it would have still been fucked
yeah,
up. But I mean, it wouldn't been like sexualizing it.
hmm. Yeah, like yeah. So if these things if they're trading, like if they're trying to model it after a trading card, like like to me, it kind of brings in the NFT thing. Like, was it just like trying to collect them all? Like, was it someone or like was it like you had to transfer over and then like delete it back on your end?
No, no, they were
Like,
physical. They were physical cards.
okay, oh, so they
Yeah,
printed them. Wow.
physical cards, and they would trade them around, and that's why they kind of can't trace who started the whole thing. It got so out of hand because it was these physical cards, and you could see the pictures and everything. So once they got a hold of it, they're like, okay, what's going on here?
Was there any indication of how widespread it was? Was it 10 students? Was it
Oh,
the
I think it
whole?
was at least 30 students. So it was hard
Okay.
to pinpoint where exactly it started because I mean at that point everybody's just taking pictures and making their own cards, and so everybody's in it.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell who started it.
Yeah. I I have a I wonder. I have to be careful on how I started that sentence. I wonder if there was like a rule of like how many you could print. Like, dude, no, you can't print 20. Like, you can only print two, or like, um, I wonder if they had like a larger rule system to that, like to their ecosystem of cards.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like,
Is like, oh, this one's super rare, so we're gonna only make 3 of these or whatever it is. So yeah, they
yeah.
were really getting into like the rarity of it and which one was best and scored it. It was wild.
I mean, did you take away Pokemon cards from kids, and they got to do something? No, that's fucked up.
That's
Like,
stupid. Oh,
you
shit.
know what would be wild? God, this would be wild if they have been doing this for years, and they're like, "I got the full evolution from like freshman."
Oh, shut the fuck up. From freshman year to when they're like 25. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. No, I don't think they were doing
Uh,
it for that long.
giving them like HP points and stuff. Like,
Oh
uh,
god. Well, it
yeah,
was a weird news story that I saw. I was like, yeah, it's definitely a what the fuck is going on.
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any. I mean, when I was in high school, like again, the like cell phone cameras were just coming out,
Yeah.
um, and because I want to say, probably about 10 years ago. I mean, iPhones were out. That's like when like you'd hear all these stories like where like sexting had probably became like more of a
Yeah.
term, you know. So that's the thing. It's not even like these girls were sending the pictures out of themselves, which still wouldn't be cool. Um,
Yeah.
but like they're not putting their content out. They're not doing it. And yeah, these boys are just perving on them. That ain't right. Like
Yeah, and I guess a bigger problem is when these girls start sending it out to guys because when I was in high school, there was this guy where he was showing around pictures of girls that were naked, but the problem was that those girls sent it to him. So now he was just kind of
yeah,
parading them around, and eventually he got into trouble and actually got suspended for a little bit. But again,
mm,
with this technology and sending it out, I mean, it's gonna get out, and you don't want that out there. Be careful what you send out there.
yeah. Um, and that's like, dude, I was watching some reels and they're talking. It was like one of those like red pill rants. Have you seen those? Where they'll have like those dudes who are all about like make your money, do this,
Oh
do that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're overly like trying to push like macho type stuff.
yeah.
Like, and then they bring on like an assortment of like random like Instagram girls,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and some of them are more in the middle, but they have I think they try to get a cross section of opinions,
yeah,
and they were talking about like how damaging it is for the girls who run OnlyFans, like
yeah,
who started an account, like how demoralized. Like they might be excited they're making a little bit of money at first, but then it's like to the ones who aren't making the 20 grand a month, the ones that are making 1,000, 2,000,
yeah,
like, and they're putting this stuff out there, and the comments and like all the interactions, and like they thought it was going to be maybe more rewarding, or not maybe rewarding, but not damaging,
yeah.
and it just turns out to be hugely detrimental to them. Um, and they're saying like girls are starting to get to the point, like I guess it's a thing to where they'll be like turning 18 in 21 days, so you guys better sign up,
Oh
like almost like
shit.
running like a pre-sale sort of a deal,
Yeah.
like
Fuck.
um counting it down.
I think.
And
Do you know who Candace Owens is? Owens.
uh I believe so.
Yeah, huge
uh
kind of Republican, who's very good at art debating.
she's black, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
okay.
was in
I
the
think black
whatever
person.
podcast and she was debating with these girls that were on OnlyFans. um, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, from for now, I just want to be creating this content, making money, and all that. And then once I'm done, I want to be able to find the love of my life and get married." Um, and Candace was like, "Well, you think a guy's gonna want that? I think that a guy is going to value more someone who is a little more preserved with their image, rather than someone's just posting on OnlyFans. And I can't remember, it's a big Republican point, but it is something that she brought up, that um, nowadays people are more open to saying, you know what, that's not okay. I don't want that in a woman. It's, I get some people say, oh, it's empowering and whatnot, but some guys just don't like that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's one of those things to where, like, marriage is sacred, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's a sanctity to it, to where it's like, okay, this is you saying to the world, like, I love this woman,
yeah,
I love this person, um, I want to spend my life with them, and if you go to work and you go to the bathroom and there's like pictures of your wife's butthole everywhere, like, like, like just the most aggressive like form that they could put, like, like what do you like? That's gonna drive someone to shoot up their office,
yeah,
like they lose their sanity,
yeah,
because there's nothing, and like, especially like if you don't know about it, you
yeah,
know, um, because after a certain point you might be like, yeah, like whatever, like everybody, uh, nobody's perfect, and like
yeah.
especially like people who maybe had a mishap when they're younger with the law, or you know, um, uh, when they hear body count, they think of something totally different than the normal, the normal mainstream vernacular. Like, oh yeah, like there's two dudes who are never gonna go home, like, because I, hit them with my car, like,
Yeah,
like they might be more like forgiving or accepting of that, but because I've heard on that show, like, I mean, they even go as far as to say that even a woman with kids is gonna have a harder time
yeah.
finding a partner, and um, that's there's some truth to that. Either there can be,
Statistically, yeah, yeah, that's true.
you know, um, and uh, but yeah, like, dude, the fact, but if it's your wife, this is the person you've committed yourself to, and the parts of her that should only be known to continue to be known to you, right? Like everybody has a past,
Yeah.
like. For that to be a click away, like,
Yeah.
um that has to be damaging. And then, like, or if you're you acknowledge it, you accept it, but then you and your wife are at a restaurant, somebody's like, oh hey, I used to subscribe to your page, like, you know
Yeah, it can get kind
um
of annoying, and it could drive them crazy in a sense.
yeah, um yeah, that world uh is just kind of wild of what's out there,
How accessible
yeah,
it is, I think, is the problem.
yeah. um i mean I mean, we were all very inquisitive young men at some point, scouring the internet for filth.
Yeah,
Like, um, and it's like, yeah, all that stuff, like, um, it's not going to go away anytime soon.
exactly.
Like, uh, do you know, if I was to say the name Abella Danger, does that ring a
No,
bell?
no, it doesn't. Is that good or is that bad?
I smell cap. Uh, she's a porn star,
Oh, okay.
right? Very, very popular porn star. Um, she started like a feet finder website, or like she like started a page on like feet finder,
Oh shit.
and it's like, you done showed everything else. Like, usually people start with maybe I'll just sell foot pics and then like devolve from there. But like,
Oh
uh,
god.
um, but yeah, I mean, but because like to me, like that's the people who make money like selling feet pics, like that's to me, that's the wildest shit.
Dude,
Like,
yeah. Like that one girl that sold her bath water. Remember that one?
oh yeah, yeah, she was
Belle
like one of the
something.
first, like, Was it?
Bell something.
Yeah. Or I thought it was like Daphne or
Dude, I don't know. But either way,
yeah,
like, dude, selling your bathwater? God damn, we're
yeah.
fucking idiots. Guys are fucking idiots. Holy shit.
We are very simple machines that could be
We are.
overridden at any point. Like,
And eventually some of us grow out of it, but there's others like, God damn it. Come on, bro. Buying
we all get
bathwater?
caught. We'll all trip up at a certain point. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
We'll all
it
do something
happens.
stupid, yeah. Um, but
Um,
the thing is just grow out of it or learn from it.
yeah. Yeah. I remember that when the whole bathwater thing happened, it was just like it was unreal. But like, I wonder if that bathwater has a value today.
It stinks like hell right now. That's what it is.
Like if somebody has a bottle that's sitting there, like is if they paid $5 for it, is it worth 10?
Dude, there's no fucking way. That thing probably stinks.
The other thing is like how do you legitimize it? How do you
Oh yeah,
fact check
that's
that,
true.
right? Like, right, like unless she said, I doubt she went through the effort of making like certificates of like what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
authenticate each vial. Um, yeah, but that stuff's just it's wild, but it's almost one of those things too that like whatever's taboo, whatever's seen as risque or um, is what people want.
Yeah.
So like Utah, I don't know if it's still this way, but I know at one point pornography was illegal.
Oh yeah.
And the state of Utah was the highest consumer pornography in the United
Yeah.
States. Uh, and I think part of it was like all the people were buying it because they didn't want to risk going to sites to get viruses on the back end. Like, so they wanted to make sure they all had like legitimate ways of like downloading it or accessing in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Once something becomes sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Prohibited, we
mhm,
tend to want to have it. And that's the problem.
yeah. Like, does the name Mia Khalifa?
Yeah.
Mia,
I'm
I was
not
gonna
even
say,
gonna lie for
yeah,
that one. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Kevin, if you don't know that one, this is totally. I lost all
That's
trust in you.
bullshit.
Yeah, but apparently, like, if she was to travel to some of the like to the Arabic countries,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like because of everything she's done and like portraying like the Arabic culture with the
Yeah.
hijab and all that, like I'm pretty sure like there's like a I don't know what they would call it, but like a green light, like that she could be killed
Oh yeah, for
because of
sure.
all the stuff she's done.
Yeah.
But that's also like I think like Pornhub and stuff are able to track like geolocate her downloads, and most of them come from Arabic countries.
Of course it does.
So like like it unlocked like this whole new like line of fetish like amongst in that country, but then like also worldwide. And like I remember one day I think I told you about this, and I was there's a point. I was at the gym and my trainer was trying to teach me how to do front squats, and that's where the bar sits in the front.
Okay.
And like you have to have your position so far that it's almost like choking you.
Yeah.
He's like you'll feel it like pushing, like it's not comfortable. He's like it sucks, and I was like, ah, like ah, like it's like this dude.
Look
This
at
is I was
that.
like
I was looking good with that.
you
Oh
better put more context to it.
no.
But I was like, as I'm sitting there, like this bar is choking me. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, if this unlocks some new kink, I'm gonna be really pissed. Like,
Oh fuck. Oh, people are gonna have to
uh,
watch it now to get the context.
no, cabrón, you got to put something in there. I ain't trying to get canceled.
Oh
Fuck.
god.
But yeah, don't be
Uh,
taking pictures of people without them knowing. Like,
or don't send pictures you don't want out there in the internet either.
yeah, be careful about what content you're putting out there.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is like, there's a content creator. I don't know, who Joey Swole is.
Sounds familiar.
His big thing is like pushing positivity in gyms,
Okay.
right? Um, and he will highlight and call out a bunch of like people who like they're there filming like their thirst trap videos at the
Yeah.
gym, and they get mad when somebody walks by, or they'll get mad like some dudes like checking them out,
Yeah.
in the background, and they'll call them creeps, and like,
Yeah.
and like sometimes the people aren't even looking at them, you know,
God
um,
damn.
or like they'll be like, "Excuse me, you just walked in front," but like he calls out a bunch of shit like that, um, and it's just like again, or like, but like what people do on there a lot too is they'll record like newbies at the gym, people who are maybe using a machine
Oh
that no,
shit.
not and you can tell like it's some 10-year, some 12-year-old kid who's never done a dumbbell row in his life, and he has the
Yeah.
worst form. He doesn't know how to keep his back straight, and he's hunched and looks like he started a lawnmower. And just like
Yeah.
don't clip that either. um, but and then like they're like, look, what's this idiot doing? And it's just like, oh, don't be that person.
Nah,
You
definitely
know.
not. Hold
Um,
on. Malfunction. There we go.
but yeah, all that stuff is not recommended.
Yeah.
Highly not
Yeah.
recommended, and it's one of those things like.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Oh shit. Got a little.
did your camera? I said, did your camera not take the blue pill today?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, since Julian's cameraman obviously got shot and just died, let's go ahead and put a pin in this. But thank you guys for playing along on this WTF Wednesday. Again, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll let you know when the new video and new content comes out. Hopefully every Monday, Wednesday, Friday if we get this point out. Do hit that thumbs up. It will help us get pushed out to other people. And again, drop us an idea, comment, something you saw maybe you want us to just talk about. Love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Take care.